Hey y'all. I just wanted to come on right quick. Just tell y'all some of the stuff that's been going on lately, right? Okay, so as y'all know, I've been working on my finances, really trying to get a good handle on that. Really being more responsible with that. Allowing God to, lead and guide me as He wills, as it pertains to like my finances, right? And so I'll go back and just tell y'all basically everything that's been going on, right? So I think it was at the beginning of February, I want to say almost, or it might have been the end of January. I don't know, but I had like a my first financial meeting with God. So I was like, okay, let me have this meeting with God because I want to really be, wise in my decisions, wise in how I was spending my money. And so I was like, you know what? Instead of me trying to say, try to figure it out myself, let me just, allow God to tell me what to do. I figured that's the easiest thing to do, right? And so he gave me like this list of things to do, right? And one of them was to open up a second checking account so then that way I can put all my. So basically, I'll have two checking accounts from my checking account that I already had. I'll get my direct deposit from my job. So I'll get paid directly there. And any money that I needed to set aside for bills will get then transferred to the second account. You're like, okay, why would you go through all that, right? So the thing is though, once all that money's out of my account, because the thing was, not all my bill dates were on the same day. Like ideally, they would have been on the day that I got paid. I would automatically draft them out. But the thing is, some of my bill dates either fluctuate or some would um, they either fluctuate or I couldn't change them to be all on the same date. And so it'll always be a bill that I would forget about, thinking I paid all my bills and I could just spend my money as I want, and it'd be that bill that pops up out of nowhere, and then I'm in like some financial bind, right? So God told me to put all my money for my bills into that second account, right? And so that was one of the things I did. And then he also told me I bank with Wells Fargo. They have overdraft protection, so that way, like if you are like overdrafting your account, they will pull it from somewhere else. So like originally, I had it set up. Well, I had it set up for my for the overdraft account to be my credit card. So if there was any time where I didn't have any enough money in my checking account, I'll just pull it out of my credit card. And so, but the thing is, though, there were times where I didn't even realize I was overdrafting, or there would be times where, like, it might have been like I had a case where it was like fraudulent activity, and they were able to keep pulling money and keep pulling money because of the fact that it was connected to that credit card that had, a limit on it, that had a pretty high limit on it. So the thing was, God was like, all right, you need to switch that back over to your savings account. So if there's, no money, like if there's no money, then there's no money, card gets declined. Not a big deal. I used to be like embarrassed, like though that was an embarrassing thing for me, like if my card got declined. Like, but now I'm at the point where like, look, I'd rather it get declined than they go through the overdraft protection, because then they charge you anyways, right? And so I did that change. I called Wells Fargo, had them have it come from my savings account for my overdraft protection. But then they asked me, well, do you want to have your the credit card be like a backup just in case? And I was like, I don't know, like that's not what God told me. But I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? Right? And so then so fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. And so I had like one more credit card that I wanted to pay down, and then I would have been done with like my credit card debt, right? And so I'm gonna be like real transparent just so y'all can know, like, okay, the numbers so it all makes sense. I had $1,900 on this one credit card. I had the money for it. I was using because I put money aside to my other checking account that wasn't my Wells Fargo account, so I could pay that off. So I had money there, and then I also had money that I wanted to transfer over the last half of it over from my Wells Fargo. So I made that transaction, right? I transferred that money over around Thursday of this week. Now, mind you, about Monday of this week, God told me, hey, let's have another finance meeting. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, right? Because God gave me so many steps. I'm like, yep, I'm about to get a good handle on this. It's going to be great, right? Thursday morning comes around, and like all month of, actually since January, I've been journaling my prayers. So I'll take, I wake up at 6 a.m., I journal my prayers for the first, for about 30 minutes or so. So first 30 minutes of my day, I'm spending like intentional time with God, and I'm journaling prayers. And so I was up on Thursday praying, just writing out my prayers, right? But I forgot that, hey, we're supposed to be having this financial meeting. So I'm just going on talking about how God, I'm just telling him how great he is. And like, I don't even remember what my exact prayer for Thursday was, but I'm just going on. But I never start asking those finance questions, right? And so then Friday comes along, and then I was kind of confused because I wasn't sure if I was going to get paid on Friday or not. because I thought originally in my mind I had it where I thought that the 28th was on Friday. So I was like, I get paid on the 28th. No, that's not right. I thought that the first was on Saturday and the Friday was going to be the 28th. So I was like, so I had made the transaction for that money for that bill to pay the rest part of that bill to happen on the 28th, thinking that was the day I got paid, right? But it wasn't, because the 28th was on Thursday. The Friday was the first. So I had that money transferred over. And so I had that and my money for my bills for that month, for the month of March, to transfer over. So then I overdrafted my account because I didn't get paid until Friday, right? So now, and I didn't even realize it until about, actually really didn't realize it until about yesterday or today. And so now, like, part of my credit card debt bill did get paid, but what they did was Wells Fargo, they overdrafted my account, so it came out from the credit card that I still have down. And the thing is, it's like God gives us these instructions, right? He tells us what to do. We seek God, he tells us what to do, but then we don't do it exactly. Like when you there's times when we oh, well, that's good enough. Oh, that's close enough. That's about what he meant. Like there's so many consequences to that. And it's crazy because it's like, now I'm in this situation where overall, it's like everything's still good because I still have that money. It's just being in the process of transferring over to my other account, and it takes 2 days. So it's not like I'm in financial ruin or anything like that. But think of how much I could have avoided had I actually remembered, had I actually put in a note. It's I remember, I didn't even remember that I was even supposed to have a meeting with God, that I was supposed to ask him about my finances on that day. Had I done that, because literally I made all those changes, all those decisions for my finances on Thursday, it was Thursday afternoon. Had I had that meeting Thursday morning, he asked me to do, he would tell me, hey, wait on this, don't do this yet. That would have been the message for the day, hold off on this. And had I originally switched my overdraft to my savings account and had never actually continued to have the credit card as the backup, I wouldn't have been in that situation either. So it's wow, overall, everything's good. There's no real issue. I just have to wait a couple of days to be able to pay everything off and be done with that. It's there's so much I could have avoided. There's so much the extra fee that I had to pay to cover that overdraft. Just this tension that I was feeling oh crap, where's my money? What just happened? Because all of a sudden my account was basically at zero. I could have avoided all that had I actually, done what God told me to do exactly how he told me to do it. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, as you're starting to seek God more, as you start asking him more about what you should do, how you should move, and as you allow him to lead you in your life, when he asks or tells you to do something, just go forth and do it exactly how he tells you. So you might think, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it's not gonna really matter. Oh, it's about the same. It's pretty much exactly. If it's not exactly what he says, then it's not it. That's still in disobedience, right? And the thing is, we have this thought process of, well, it's good enough, close enough. No, go beyond that. Go deeper with God. Go to the point where you're practicing radical obedience. That when you say it, you're going to say it however he says it. You do it in that moment how he says it. Because the thing is, it's he's protecting us. Everything he does is for our protection, as far as when he's leading us and guiding us and he's telling us to do certain things. And so you never know what he's protecting you from. So try to get into the habit of really going after God and being really intentional about doing the specific things that he told you to do, because with that comes his protection, comes his and comes, I feel with that protection also, there's also a blessing in it. So you never know how that situation, you might become blessed from. You might not think that it was a big deal, or that one left turn might not be a big deal, but you never know the things that he might be protecting you from, or the things that he might be allowing you to be blessed in if you just follow through. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got going on right now though. So hopefully all my finances will be fine. It's crazy because though, let me tell you this right quick. I legit thought that this whole finance thing was done. I thought, okay, February we talked about finances. God dealt with me on my finances. We're good, right? But I feel no, we're still struggling on this finance thing. So I'm excited though, because I feel if God is really making sure that I'm spending a lot of time focused on my finance, focused on making sure I'm being a good steward of them, and focusing on the fact that I'm being responsible with it, then that must mean that at some point I'm going to grow very largely in my finances. Finances, it's not going to be something I'm worried about, but it's something that he's going to use like through me to bless other people. And so the thing is, it's like I honestly feel because we've been working on finances for a while now for it just to be for me. So much like I feel like because God's been working so long with me to make sure my finances are right, it must mean that He's going to use that to bless other people. So I'm really excited about that. So like if you're in a season and you feel like you've been in that season a long time with God just dealing with you on a particular thing, just know that He's probably preparing you for something more. He's preparing you for the whatever that is greater. And so just continue and don't like lose hope. Like the verses um, shoot, that I forgot that quick. It's like, don't grow weary in well doing. Don't grow weary in well doing. You will reap a harvest if you faint not. And so the thing is, sometimes we go through these seasons and we keep going and we push, and it's like it's a lot. It can be tiring, but I can encourage you to keep pushing because eventually you will get the harvest of that season. So yeah, I hope y'all have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later.